Consider what it would be like if a foreign country, a strong government came and they were powerful enough to impose on us a restriction that we couldn't import petroleum products, that they would control all ships, boats, planes, and trains and trucks coming into our country, and all the control of the people. Now, what would we as Americans do? I bet we'd be unified and we'd want to do something about it. But that's exactly what we're doing, and that's exactly what we're threatening. At the same time, we're pretending that our policy is supposed to be undermining Ahmadinejad in Iran. Well, I'll tell you what, if somebody comes and threatens us, I mean, we get unified. Just think, after 9/11, we weren't fighting among ourselves because we saw us being threatened, and it brings people together. So the dissidents in Iran right now are being hurt, and Ahmadinejad is being held. Now, sometimes I wonder if it isn't deliberate, so that we always have an enemy out there that we have to keep the military industrial complex.
Human nature.
It's either that, or they're just, not very smart, and sometimes maybe there'll be a little bit of both. But we do have the answers. We have the answers. The people have responded well to this message, much stronger than I ever believed. And the magnificent thing over the past year and a half has been the rallies, the people coming together. Because what I have found, and I see it all the time, is the message of liberty and the Constitution. It brings us together regardless of our personal beliefs. If you know and understand what the First Amendment is all about and what freedom is all about, we can take a crowd like this, and what your personal religious beliefs are not relevant. They're relevant to you and to your family and your children and all, and that's very important in what you do in your community. But in a free society, it's really not relevant. What we have to do is agree that we have freedom of choice in social behavior. Certain group in Congress that's a little bit better on protecting those values than others, but unfortunately, they're the same ones who think you don't have a right to spend your own money. Now, our conclusion is, and the freedom message is, in a free society, you have the right to run your own life, you have the right to earn as much money as you want, and you have the right to spend it any way you want. But along with this, if you practice bad behavior and it hurts yourself, you can't come crawling to the government to go to your neighbor and bail you out. If you don't take care of yourself and take care of your retirement and your medical needs, you can't go to your neighbor and send the government there to bail you out. Freedom really works, and it is popular. Unfortunately, what we're facing is that we have become a nation that has lost confidence. And I think what we're seeing here, occurring here in the last year or so, is our confidence is coming back. Confidence that freedom does work, and that we don't have to depend on the government from cradle to grave. It's obvious the foreign policy is a failure. It's obvious that the Federal Reserve System is a failure. It's obvious that we shouldn't even have the IRS and the taxes. If you look at the entitlement system, that's a total failure. There's only debt there. The elderly now, who have paid into the system, are starting to receive. They have an inflation rate of 10 or 12%, and they get increases in their benefits, maybe 2%. So they're losing. No wonder they feel like there's a recession going on. So and salaries under these conditions never keep up. So people are in a recession, and this country is, and it's very, very serious because not so much because we will be living beneath our means, but ultimately it means that our freedoms will be threatened, and I think that is what's happening today. When a country lives beyond its means, it has to live beneath its means. There is a bit of payback. But if we did the right things, If we restored freedom, restored sound money, and went back to work, believe me, it wouldn't take long. We would be back on our feet in no time.